Welcome to this edition of the AllSpeeches Broadcast, where it's basically, I can best describe it as ramblings from a middle-aged guy in Middle Britain or England. That's a state of mind, not a geographical location for anyone that's trying to find me. It's all on Google+, so you can just come along. Well, actually, don't come along. It'll be a bit weird, and I need a restraining order and stuff like that. Anyway, each episode, week, whatever it is, I talk about how I'm viewing the life of the people that I'm dealing with, how I view my own life, what we think of each other, and what's going on in the world of wedding speeches from all the answers that I receive from guys all over the world who would like me to write the wedding speech. And sometimes it's themed. This week it's not. This is just things that tickled me from different answers and people from around the world in various different ways. And I love a Scottish person. My father's Scottish, and they have a bluntness and to the pointness, if that's a word or a phrase, that's very refreshing. And it hasn't been better summed up than by this guy here, who pretty much gave me all one-word answers. And how would you describe your character? And this is him talking about himself. Up straight, honest and blunt. Which sounds highly attractive. What were his dating days like? Absolute disaster. What sort of effect has she had on him? Under the thumb. And he gets a little bit more expansive and expressive when I ask what are his passions. Football, sex, tattoos, and his hairdryer. Which he sounds like, in just a few words, that guy sounds quite interesting. Someone I'd quite like to meet for a drink and see what makes him tick, or indeed doesn't tick. Then there are funny stories. I frequently get stories that really do make me laugh, and quite often it's the shorter ones which work the best. There's a very classic mistake when it comes to writing best man speeches, which people think if they write long stories, they're going to make people laugh. And what happens is people get drowned in the detail. The longer you wind up to the punchline, the less likely you are to land it, and it all becomes a bit of a tumbleweed moment. But this is great. This is a guy who wasn't very good at driving. And about a week after buying his car, he drove it into the back of another car and wrote it off. When I asked him why he wasn't looking where he was going, he said he was driving next to a field full of cows, and in the very far corner of the field, there were two cows acting suspiciously. So he was trying to figure out what they were doing. I absolutely love the idea of two cows acting suspiciously in a field. Cows just stand there, they lay there, they probably make other cows with other cows or whatever you call them. Acting suspiciously suggests they're like some bovine part of ISIS and are going to plant an IED in the road. I don't think they probably are. Let's hear it for cows. I love shoes, I love steak. Cows get a lot of my love. This next one is just a little bit of a lapse of judgment. When I say a little bit of a lapse of judgment, it is pretty much catastrophic. When you're made a best man, you should really think that you should pitch all the comedy and all the funny bits down the middle so that everyone can laugh and no one's thinking, ooh, really? Did he just say that? And this is quite often best men, and quite often it's the most educated best men that have the biggest lapses of judgment. I won't muse on this guy's education or anything, but this was something that never ever got read out. We nipped it in the bud, and it didn't happen. But this is what he was going to read out. Some of you will find this funny. I really don't. But good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. When Andrew asked me to be his best man, a warm, fuzzy feeling came over me as I crapped myself. I have never given a public speech before, but I'm told it's like going to a nudist beach for the first time. It's only hard for the first couple of minutes. Yeah, some of you will have laughed, but the thing is, if you read that at a wedding, it's going to be like chucking a hand grenade in there. It's just going to just completely butcher the atmosphere, and no one's going to thank you for it. And to be honest, I don't find it that funny, and I know where you got that from. I know the websites that hand them out for free, and there's a good reason why they hand them out for free. They are not funny, and they were never funny in the first place. Anyway, this is a really innocent answer to a question, which when the guy wrote it, wouldn't have been thinking it was funny, but it really, really, really made me laugh, which probably says more about me than it does about him and mankind in general. So I'll just read it to you. This is the last one. And I asked him a question, what does he really not like? And at that point, I'm thinking, spiders. He doesn't like laying in bed. He doesn't like reality TV. He doesn't like people who are ginger or something like that. Just always really understandable things. He's written, what does he really not like? Bullying, aggression, watching people suffering. Like there's a whole chunk of the world that love bullying, aggression and watching people suffering, but he is not part of those. He stands very much to one side and say, no, that is not what I dig. If you find that funny, then we probably get on like a house on fire. I just thought that was great. Tell us something we don't know. That's it from me for this edition of the AllSpeeches broadcast. Tune in next time for some more ramblings from Middle Britain, from a middle-aged bloke. You've got 99 problems, but the speech ain't one. Bye-bye.